interested, then that would be the time to come here. It's not always easy for me, but as best I can do, I shall try and do that. Hello, Annie. Hello. And so it's a very nice sunny day here. Anyway, this is the first time I've been able to do a live broadcast when it's been sunny outside. But the reason I think maybe it was sunny last week, only I had all the protective covers on the van, so I couldn't see out of the window screen, and though I do seem to recall actually closing my what you call it, the skylight above me to make sure the light was a bit better. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about last week was one of the problems that we now see in van life, and this comes from the first thing is the situation in Portugal, but this is actually being repeated now in a number of countries, or local authorities, I should say, localities have been banning vans. And for example, in the UK, you often see there's a height restriction, and that height restriction might be 2 meters, for example, or 1.80 meters or something like that, to stop vans going in there. I don't know if that's actually deliberately done to stop motorhomes, but more at the point stopping other vans, or maybe business vans and all the rest of it, from actually trying to get in. But I noticed a couple of weeks ago that the area around Benidorm has now put a ban on it, on overnighting in vans. Now, I appreciate that Benidorm is a popular tourist destination, but it's normally for packaged tours rather than motorhomes and camper vans. But all the same, people who might want to benefit from the nightlife and whatever, Benidorm might decide to actually go there. Anyway, as from now, you can only go to places which are reserved for campers. This is the situation in Portugal. It's only places which are reserved for campers. And, you know, having not actually been to Portugal in my van, I don't actually know what the situation's like. Maybe there's places you can stop all over the place, although something tells me that isn't actually the case. I think that at a time when tourism is suffered from the effects of COVID-19, then this is a really bad policy. What we want at times like this is to actually encourage tourism and not to put people off, and this will put off more people than it will actually encourage. Now, there is a political point here which is being made, and I do understand this one, is that the people who spend a great deal of money launching campsites and paying the taxes on those campsites, the land taxes, which could be astronomical, and then they see people just parking in the street, and they're making the most of free water and dumping their rubbish in the litter bins, and finding somewhere, maybe just dumping the toilet into the municipal toilets or whatever people do. And so I can understand that argument, but the counter argument is that when people travel, and they do tend to spend money in restaurants and shops and things of that nature. Indeed, I think that many people don't even use their vehicles for cooking at all. And I can see that from the comments and the people I talk to. When they go somewhere, they want to actually experience what it is. So you go to Portugal, you want to experience the cod, for example, and the octopus. Portugal is above all noted for its bacalhau, it's a cod, so roast cod or something like that. So I do appreciate why there is these local problems, but on the other hand, in the situation that we have at the moment, I think that tourist authorities ought to be doing more. Now, I recently had the opportunity to speak to local authorities in Greece, and I spoke to the mayor of one place, and she said that they really wanted to encourage motorhomes to go there. And what could they do to get more motorhomes to actually to be there? So this was something I thought, well, yeah, this is what many people want to hear. They've got no problem getting motorhomes there in July and August, but what they want are people to spend over winter, or go in the winter and things of that nature. That makes a lot of sense. So that is, I think, the one way that local authorities could really try to do to build up more people going there. Now, if to return to the Portuguese situation, I do understand that as most people are going to go to the Algarve, and it could be a situation that people going to the Algarve are blocking all the decent parking spaces and taking two places instead of one, and maybe not spending enough money and then not moving on, being there for 2 or 3 weeks or more. Then I do appreciate the problem for local businesses who may want people to come and stop there for half an hour and then move on. That I appreciate. In the United Kingdom, there is a problem where motorhomes are being increasingly banned from the seafront in many towns. And this is particularly the case on the south coast, where motorhomes are, in general, I would say, most unwelcome. So, but I mean, okay, I can appreciate this if people are just not moving on in popular areas. So, and they should perhaps use other facilities. There was one place in Devon, with the name of which has now escaped me. I've forgotten the name of it now. Never mind. But anyway, they'd put up. They had a charge, which I think it was £10 a night for motorhomes to use a car park, and they increased it to £30. And which again, in the circumstances we have now, where you've got, I really feel for restaurant owners and people with businesses like this, how difficult it must be. I mean, restaurants are really difficult businesses to run at the best of times. The margins are extremely fine, and with all this period of COVID and the fact that even if it were resolved overnight, so we say, if we all got vaccinated and the disease went away, people wouldn't start going back into restaurants. There would be an initial burst, and then people would pull back. That's the way it would happen. It'll take months and months for things to actually get back to normal. And now, to come back to the motorhome point, is that the motorhome demographic is what is most interesting. It is the demographic of people who go out in their vehicles, who are largely over 50, who have more disposable income. I do appreciate there are people who may not fit into this group. I mean, certainly had I had a motorhome when I was a student, I'd have been traveling around as I was on the train. But then again, I was sleeping rough and this type of thing. I would be not spending not much money. I might have given some business to the local Tesco and Lidl, but it wouldn't have been much else other than that. But those people, I think, are in the minority, and what we really need to, what the businesses, I think, need to do is to encourage those who will spend money. Now, Annie just made the point that oh, sorry, she didn't make the point I thought she'd made. Sorry, I read the thing properly. I do appreciate that people don't want groups of maybe gypsies or something, groups like that going to one place and not using the facilities, and I do actually appreciate that, and but on the other, it doesn't have to be gypsies. It could be a non-gypsy gypsies, sort of like me. If it was like a group of us going to one place and just plonking ourselves down and not moving on, I do appreciate that. Anyway, so my words are to local authorities to think of the financial benefit of motorhome tourism, and to try and to actually get people to travel like that. Now, I'll be attending a conference next week. It's all via Zoom, or whatever, Skype or whatever, but next week. But I shall be bringing this point up. In fact, that reminds me, what I ought to be doing is actually arranging my appointments, which I haven't actually done so far, but I will make this point very, very clear. And not only that, I'll start pulling out statistics. I mean, this from Europe, there isn't really much in the way of statistics. But for example, in Australia, there's been the motorhome, the camping body there has actually produced showing how much, what is the extra amount of money spent per motorhome that actually stays there. Right, so that's just sort of my little speech, which I sort of prepared for last week. And I noticed that Brian has got his motorhome is going to turn up. Now, Brian's motorhome was meant to turn up in December. So actually, that's not too bad. Going to only 2 months out, 2 months late. But I noticed another one, a person who was on here folding in Munich, and who has got a major problem with delivery of his vehicle, and he's been offered another base vehicle. And the thing is, in the current circumstances, I can actually understand. I mean, I also understand somebody who is the buyer getting really wound up, being told they've got to wait months and months and months after they've paid and made the decision, paid and all the deposit and all the rest of it. Unfortunately, the supply chains were hit. And you might think, oh, okay, hang on, Fiat are now working, but Fiat buy their parts from somebody who buys their parts from somebody who buys their parts from somebody. So it knocks it all the way back. So even if you think, hang on, they're getting it, they may be getting some, I don't know, something tiny screws or washers or something. It's like 4 or 5 down the supply chain. They're not arriving, so that holds the whole thing up. I know, for example, a little bit closer to the end of the supply chain, that Truma have had problems supplying boilers, which, you know, a camper van without a boiler doesn't work, and this doesn't work for most people, and therefore that has just effectively it's stopped the supply chain working correctly. So and it might need to be Truma's fault. It might be somebody that supplies them with whatever I don't know, whatever goes into the boilers, the heating element or something, which I'm certain they don't make themselves. Okay, right. So that's my my talk for today. And had there been any questions, I would have answered them. Now, Brian asked, is it possible to have a meetup or something? That is something that's actually gone through my mind in the past, but I don't know where. I mean, it might be, I had this idea actually to do something at Dusseldorf, and so that would be, I mean, that's certainly possible. And that will, of course, be in September, and there's 7 months to go, or 6.5, let's say, a month, well, just over six, until Dusseldorf. But yeah, certainly could maybe think of something like that, and either indoors or maybe somebody would actually let us use the stand. Oh no, we'd have to do it on the campsite, because no, if people want visitors would get kicked out. So so that's something I could do it. You know, we could maybe have a bit of a party, bring your own booze sort of thing, which would be quite good. And I could arrange some other people do what I do, also to be there, and so you could also do something along those lines. Now, okay, Folding heard that I was actually going to be on some Miltons YouTube channel this weekend, and that's absolutely true. I was due to be doing a live broadcast on the Motorhome and Caravan show, but unfortunately, on all the test runs we did, the internet connection wasn't good enough. Now, it seems to me to be perfectly all right now, but as I was doing it with them, maybe it's the software they're using, or I don't know, or maybe it's just my telephone, but it kept going off. So I'm not doing it on there. I'm not going to be on their site tomorrow, and I'll do that sometime in the future when I've got a better, a more reliable internet access. I cannot, however, complain and I'm not complaining at the internet access I have got. I pay 35 zloty, that's £7, €8, even less than €8 per month. I get 15 gig of high speed, but this is the end of the month, so there's no more high. I've used it all, and then it goes slower. But Net Plus as many all the phone calls and all the SMSs I want, so I can't complain at that at all. So, thanks very much to all of you who were here. And this evening there will be a video at the normal time. I haven't actually said it. I don't even know what it is yet. But I'll get onto that before long. I have had actually a really good last 2 days. Bonjour de Amin, who's in Algeria. Because I've done more videos in the last 2 days than I've ever done before in my life. Although it's all of them were for my history channel. And so I had all this stuff that just sort of lying around, these bits, and I just, right, that's it, I'm going to stick them all together. And that's what I did. So I've had a magnificent, in fact, I've been sitting here. I only went out here to dump my toilet cassette out off, and which I do that every day anyway. But other than that, I've been in, haven't gone out, and this was sort of a bit of adrenaline getting all these videos out. Okay, thanks very much for watching. See you this evening and every time on a Saturday at this time. Bye. Thanks, Folding. History Insights also interesting. Goodbye, all. I just did something on Munich as well. So, all right, bye. Salut, Amin. See you later.